Shalom. Giving all praises, glory, and honors unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the 144,000 rest of the whole elect out there. This is your brother, the priest of Zion, GMS Atlanta, back with another edifying video. And Iran has done what they said they was going to do. So there was a lot of back and forth between Iran and Israel. As you know, there's been an exchange since last Thursday, almost a week now, going on 5-6 days. There's been an exchange between Iran and Israel. Pretty much it's war. Israel struck Iran, then Iran struck back with over 100 drones, and they've been going back and forth over the last few days. And Iran has said that yesterday that they were going to do something historic that the world has never seen, and they did it. All right, so it says here, Israel's missile defenses running short as Iran fires hypersonics, report. Now, the hypersonic missile is a new type of ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missile. It has been developed by Russia, I believe India,
90,
the U.S. as well, and now Iran, and they've used it. And we've been saying for the longest time that these missiles were going to be used during the time of World War III. Now, I don't believe that the hypersonic missile that they used had a warhead in it, but this is showing that they have the power for this type of technology. Now, this is from Newsweek, okay? Newsweek, June 18th. 2025, 4:49 a.m. So this is just a few hours ago. And things are escalating. Now, you know, we know according to prophecy, according to Bible prophecy, that World War III or Armageddon must take place. But the destruction and these nuclear weapons, these warheads, the exchange of nuclear weapons won't take place until the MOTB, the biometric implant in the hand and the forehead, is mandated, and the majority of the people around the world take it. All right, that prophecy has to come to pass first before the destruction. But these nations are definitely showing their power. So it says here, Israel is running low on their supply of Arrow missile interceptors, just as Iran unleashes hypersonic missiles in its latest attack, according to the Wall Street Journal. And we've been saying here at GMS that they were going to use this technology. And ultimately, they will be outfitted. These missiles will be outfitted with nuclear warheads, and that'll be the end of Babylon the Great, aka the U.S. of America, and then the deliverance. Like I said, not without the MOTB, the micro C-HIP being mandated around the world. So it says, citing a senior U.S. official, the report said American defense leaders have known for months about the shortfall, raising urgent questions about Israel's ability to defend itself from high-speed, long-range threats. And see, that's why America's going to have to get into the war. And then that's going to cause China and mainly Russia, North Korea, ultimately to get involved. And then all these other nations will go down into what's known as the Valley of Jehoshaphat. Now, it mentioned about the arrow missile. Now, the scriptures and prophecy speak about the arrows. Okay? It says that these nations were going to use arrows to destroy Babylon. Now, we know that those arrows, as they were described thousands of years ago by the prophet here, Jeremiah, the arrows are actually talking about missiles. But they're like the modern day arrows, because you can't use a normal average bow and arrow to destroy a modern military. Okay, that's old and ancient tech. So now the new arrows are these missiles, nuclear missiles, hypersonic missiles, ballistic missiles, and then you have the hypersonic ICBM intercontinental ballistic missiles. Those are the arrows. So this is Jeremiah 51:11. It says, "Make bright the arrows, gather the shields." The arrows are the missiles, the shields are the defenses. The Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, which is Russia. Okay? And Russia, pursuant to Ezekiel 38, will be allied and be a guard unto Persia, which Persia is Iran. You have Turkey, which is known as Gomer, Togarmah, and other nations as well will all be allied against America, which is Babylon. It says, "For his device is against Babylon to destroy it." And that's the will of the Lord, to destroy this place. Because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. And the Lord is getting revenge for the fact that these, Americans, these Edomites, according to the Bible, these so-called white people, which are the Edomites, according to the Bible, they put the so-called black Hispanics and Native American Seminole Indians, which are the true Israelites, they put our people in captivity. And the Lord, the Heavenly Father, is our God, and he's going to get vengeance on these nations, including America, for putting us in slavery. That's what makes this the good news. Okay? It says, "Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon, make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen." These are the prophets. The prophets, starting with the men of great millstone, have been set up to proclaim that the Lord is going to destroy this place. And by who? This is why we tell you nuclear missiles will destroy America, Babylon the Great, Russia, Iran. These nations are going to get into the war of Armageddon and take this place out. And that's the end of this white man society. Sorry, you got. Hey, sorry, not sorry, but you got to go. It says, "For the Lord, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, hath both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon." So America got to go, man. So these are just talking about the arrows, okay? So, we're in a time that these things will eventually take place. Now, these, things weren't, I don't believe it was a nuclear warhead, but the missile itself was used for the first time in actual battle, I believe. At least from Iran. So it says the revelation coincides with Iran's announcement that it fired Fatah 1 hypersonic missiles at Israel on Wednesday. So basically, Israel can't defend against it. Israel cannot defend, and for that matter, America can't defend against these missiles. It says the missiles was traveled at more than 5 times the speed of sound and can maneuver mid-flight, pose a serious challenge to even advanced missile defense systems. Newsweek has reached out to the Israel Defense Forces and Iran's foreign ministry. Why it matters. Israel's arrow system is a key part of its multi-layered missile defense built to intercept long-range ballistic threats. A shortage of interceptors during the 6th day of active conflict with Iran could leave major population centers increasingly vulnerable, especially as Iran now deploys faster, more evasive hypersonic missiles. So as they continue to use these types of missiles, then eventually they're going to have to use nuclear warheads in those missiles. Okay? Now, when you go to Joel, the 2nd chapter, it says that when these missiles are used, ultimately with the nuclear warheads in them, these missiles will not be able to be defended against. This is Joel chapter 2 and 3. It says, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth, which are the missiles. All right, you have the warheads, then you have that propelling flame behind the missile. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them. Because once these missiles launch ground zero, they're going to turn what was a land of trees and houses and buildings and people into a damn desert. It says the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen so shall they run. When you see missiles get launched, or arrows for that matter, they look like an army of horsemen, horses running in a battle. All right, but they're actually modern day warfare, which are once again missiles. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. And these are all descriptors of what the missiles can do. And we've been telling you that they got these technologies, they got the missiles here at GMS. We've been prophesying about this technology, and now it's being put into action. It says, before their face people shall be much pained, all faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march everyone on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. So just like when you have an army in the ancient world and they would climb a wall, and they would break into a palace or a fortress, that's how these missiles are going to break through the defense systems of America in that day when they have the nuclear warheads and their launch and these missiles. That's how they're going to, be able to take America out. And they're not going to be defending against it, because it says they won't break their ranks. It says, neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk everyone on his path. So every guided nuclear missile is going to go to its directed target. Nothing will stop it. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. So when they do try to deploy this Golden Dome system that Trump was talking about, or whatever, the American Missile Defense System, or even the Iron Dome system, it won't be defended. It won't defend America. It won't defend the state of Israel, right? The missiles, the defense rockets and defense missiles won't stop these nuclear missiles. It says they shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. So that means that they're going to break through, and they're going to, destroy the whole land of Babylon the Great. Okay? They will enter into the land of America and destroy it. Okay? Verse 10, the earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. So that means that the missiles are going to quake and shake the earth. And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army. The missiles are the Lord's army, because his spirit is going to be in the missiles to destroy Babylon, aka America. For his camp is very great. For he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, is great and very terrible, and who can abide it? So this system will be totally destroyed. America, this society, the white man's world, which are the Edomites, they're going to be taken out of power and rulership once this nuclear destruction takes place. So it says back in the article, the introduction of such advanced weapons has reshaped the threat landscape. As both nations trade strikes and diplomacy stalls, military readiness and the ability to intercept incoming fire has become a defining factor in the escalating confrontation. So they've launched these missiles. It's just a matter of time. Okay, it's just a matter of time before things break out in a full-blown war. But we must wait for the MOTB to be implemented. Like Apostle Ramlov said, we're excited, not too excited. All right, for the end is not yet. There shall be wars and rumors of wars, but the end is not yet. Okay, but with that, hope this lesson was edifying. I want to close out. So they launched hypersonic missiles from Iran. So with that, all praises goes to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Shalom.